It's the Wedding Dance Crochet Along square. Let's make this together. Welcome to Good Knit Kisses. We're all about helping you stitch your love and love your stitches. Today's video is part 3 of 3 for the Wedding Dance Crocheted Square. It's a 12-inch square. We'll be working on the remaining rounds of the border, so rounds 4 through the ending of it. You're going to need contrast A and C. Click down below for a link to the pattern of the square. All right, for this part, we're going to begin with round 4, and I've already got round 3 in this color B, and where I've completed before was down here, and I'm just kind of rotating and coming just to a different spot to change where we've got all of our tails ending. So I'm just going to go right into this chain space right after the corner here, and we're going to be working with contrast A. You'll also want to have contrast C on hand because we will do one round of that in this to complete this this border here. So I'm going to set that aside. Okay, go ahead and put a slip knot on your hook, and we're just going to join by slip stitch right here into that first chain space after the corner. Tighten that up. All right, and now we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and I'm showing the blue here because that's actually the original color, not this bright green. This is that dark navy blue if you're following the pattern for the VIP color in Chic Sheep. All right, so this is going to take care of the height for our half double crochet plus a chain. So this round, round 4 and 5 are going to be exactly the same. They're just different colors. So we're going to yarn over. We're going to make a half double crochet into each chain space. So we half double crochet right in here. So we're going to insert into the chain space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to move on to the next chain space. Yarn over, insert into that chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3, and chain 1. So continue half double crochet in the next chain space, chain 1, and continue all the way up until you get to the first corner. Pause your video and I will meet you there to show you what to do. See you in a moment. All right, so we've come to our corner and we're just going to half double crochet into this corner space, and then we will chain 2, half double crochet, chain 1. So we're just going to be continuing on as we've done before with a couple of chains to make that corner. So we yarn over, go into that chain space, yarn over, pull up a stitch, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over, insert into that chain space, and pull up a stitch, and we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3, and don't forget that chain at the end. And then you've made your corner. Yarn over and go into that next chain space and continue with half double crochet, chain 1 on every chain space across, and then repeat your corners all the way around. Pause your video. I'll meet you back up at the end to complete this round and move on to the next. See you soon. All right, so we're coming to the end, and I'm on my last corner. Do a half double, chain 2, and a half double in that last chain space here in the corner, and one more chain 1, and then I am back to, or if you're not quite there, you'll just continue on in the chain spaces, but I'm back to my chain 3 from the very beginning. I'm just going to go into the second chain here, so it's going to leave one little chain for a spacing. We're going to go right in there, and we're going to slip that stitch. So we're just going to yarn over and pull through both of those, and then we're going to cut it. And I've actually already cut my yarn here, so go ahead and clip that and pull it on through. And now we're ready to begin round 5, and round 5 works with contrast C. So we're going to grab contrast C, make a slip knot, and I'm just going to spin this around and come in on this side over here, just starting in a new place. And so we're just going to do exactly what we did in round 4, except we're working with contrast C, and this is the last time this is used. So we'll go into a chain space. I'm just going to go a couple from the end here, and do that one more time. Okay. Go run into that chain space and slip the stitch, and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we're a half double crochet into that chain space and chain 1, and then a half double in the chain space and chain 1, and just continue. And the corner is done the same way as you just did the previous round. You're just going to do half double, 2 chains, half double, and then a chain 1, and continue. So just as before, pause your video, join me back up, and we'll meet you for joining and moving on to the next round. See you soon. Okay, so coming on this last corner, half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet, chain 1, and last chain space here, chain 1, and now we're going to go into the third chain here, because one chain represents the chain after a half double, and then you've got the second chain up here resembles going at the top of a half double. So we're just going to pull one right on through and then slip that stitch. Okay, and then now you can cut your yarn and then pull that on through. And then now we're going to start adding on for our next round, which is round 6. So grab your contrast A and make a slip knot. So now that I've fastened this off here, I'm going to join it, the next color, down here and turn it over. And so it can actually help it from being a little bit wonky. It doesn't actually say that in the pattern. You don't have to do that, but I'm just going to. So we're going to come down away from the corner and just go into the top of one of these half double crochets and just fasten that in. So I'm just going to go into this one here and join. Okay, and so for round 6 with A, we're going to chain 1, okay, and then we're going to single crochet in each half double crochet and chain space across. So this first one is a chain space, so this chain represented this stitch here, so now we're going to go here and single crochet in that chain space, then go into this half double crochet and single crochet, go into the space, single crochet, go into the half double, single crochet, and continue on across. And then pause your video, meet me back up when you get to your first corner, and I'll show you how to do the corner. See you in a moment. Okay, so our corners on round 6 and for the rest of the pattern, they look a little bit different than what we've been doing, and you'll see why later. We're going to do 3 single crochets in this corner. So where this chain 2 space from the previous round is, that's where we go. So make sure and put in your single crochet on top of that half double, and then just simply make 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And you can even make a note of which one is the middle chain here and put a little stitch marker in here to keep track for the next round. I'll talk about that again on the next round as well. So continue working around single crochets in every stitch and in the chain space. So one on top of here, one here, and repeating going around. Pause your video and I'll meet you back up at the end to join. See you soon. All right, so I'm completing round 6. I've done 1, 2, 3 on the corner, and then I need to go into the top of this HTC, single crochet in the next space, single crochet the HTC, just continue along, and then there's that chain space there. Okay, so now we've got the chain that we had right here. We want to, and that's from the beginning of the round, we're just going to go right into that. It might be a little tight. Sometimes if it's super tight, I'll go right in with my hook like this and kind of work my way into that stitch. And then yarn over, and then we're just going to slip it. and come right up like that. And that's how you end round 6. Round 7 and 8 are very similar. They're just single crochet rounds. So we're just going to chain up 1, and I'll show you both rounds. So we chain up 1, we're going to single crochet across to the corner. So we're going to go ahead and go to this first one, single crochet all the way across. Pause your video as you need. I'll just go ahead and keep this going. And we're going to get to this first corner here, and we're going to do 3 single crochets in the corner stitches. So we had done 3 single crochets in that space, and so these corners are setting up different on the last few rows, and you'll see it in the end of the video where you can see the kind of look that I'm going for. And I don't always do my corners this way, but I just happen to do it on this one, and I'll explain in the end why. So it's a little bit different. Okay, there's 1. Okay, now we're in where this chain space was. So this is the first one. So you can count 1, 2, and that's the middle of where we had gone before. And then the next one will be 3. So the one when we hit 2 right there, we're just going to go back into it again and single crochet and do it one more time, 3. So that's the corner stitch where we do 3 single crochets and then move on. So you should have 1 more before that corner from the previous round had gone. Okay, and then just continue single crocheting around in every stitch, and every corner is going to be just like that. And I'll remind you again of it later, but you could put a stitch marker in these so you know exactly where that 3rd stitch is, or the middle of those 3 stitches there is. And anyway, so pause your video, I'll meet you back, and we'll join that up and go on to the next rounds. See you soon. Coming to the end of round 7, and just like the end of round 6, you're just going to single crochet that last stitch and come into the very beginning chain that you used and yarn over and pull up a stitch and then just slip that and then chain 1. And now you're ready for round 8. In round 8, you're just single crocheting in each stitch. So you just come across, single crochet, and then go to the next stitch, single crochet, and then you're going to make the corners just like you did before with 3 single crochets in that very corner stitch. So you may have to look at where you had those 3 there. If you want to find the middle one and put a stitch marker there just so you can tell, that's fine. Whatever works for you. All right, so go ahead and continue on this round. Pause your video. I'll meet you back up for the end of round 8, and we'll complete this together. See you soon. All right, so we're coming down to the end of round 8. Finish those single crochet, and then we're going to slip stitch join like we've done on the other rounds. Just go right into that beginning chain and slip that stitch, and then clip your yarn, break your yarn, and pull it on through. And then you're just going to use your tapestry needle to weave in the ends. Just weave them in, the individual stitches in the color that you used, and block this to a 12 by 12 square. And you can see how the borders on the very edge in this white or linen color, they have like this really nice solid look to it, and then you've got the really lacy here. So I designed this to make it look a lot more solid, and that's why my corners are a little different, because I wanted this to have like the strength and rigid traditional with the whimsy of this sort of dancers in the middle. And I would suggest that if you're going to stitch them together, you can use either the white or this middle, this taupe, because this is the only part that this was put in. So your contrast B could be the part that stitches these together. If you want it to disappear, you could use the white as well. It would look very blocky, but it adds a nice color pop if you would pull this color in here. So that's just a suggestion, or pull in this contrast C as well. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoy making it. Be sure to check out more down below, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Good Knit Kisses. See you soon. Thanks for joining us today, where we help you stitch your love and love your stitches. See you again soon.